Have you ever felt like your work schedule is stealing your life? Maybe you work nights while the world sleeps. Maybe you clock in when others clock out. Maybe you've looked at successful people and thought, easy for them. They work 9 to 5. You tell yourself, I can't build anything. I'm too exhausted. My schedule won't let me. But what if I told you that a man working the midnight shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., built a thriving business and quit his warehouse job in just 6 months? What if your schedule isn't the problem? It's actually your advantage. This is the story of a man who stopped making excuses and started claiming the hours everyone else was wasting. Stay with me until the end, because this might change how you see time forever. In a sprawling industrial city in the Midwest, where warehouses stretched for miles and trucks never stopped moving, there lived a 29-year-old man named Robert Chen. Robert was a logistics coordinator at a massive distribution warehouse. Every night at 11 p.m., he arrived at the gate. Every morning at 7 a.m., exhausted and hollow, he drove home through rush hour traffic while everyone else was starting their day. His job was simple: manage incoming shipments, coordinate warehouse teams, track inventory. The pay was decent, enough to survive, never enough to thrive. But the schedule? The schedule was a prison. Robert had dreams, big dreams. He wanted to start his own logistics consulting business. He'd spent years in warehouses and distribution centers. He understood supply chains, inventory systems, and freight management better than most consultants charging $200 an hour. But when would he build it? He worked all night. He slept from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. He prepared for work from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Where was the time? His apartment was a dim one-bedroom in a cheap complex near the warehouse district. The curtains were always drawn, blackout curtains, because he slept during the day. His refrigerator held energy drinks and frozen meals. His gym membership sat unused. His dating life was non-existent. His girlfriend, Amy, had broken up with him 3 months ago. Her final words still echoed. "Robert, you're a good person, but you have no future. You work all night, sleep all day, and you're not building anything. I can't wait forever for you to figure out your life." Robert's father, a retired factory worker, I would call every Sunday afternoon, right when Robert was waking up, groggy and disoriented. "Son, you're 29 now. When are you going to do something with your life? I worked nights too, but I didn't waste my days sleeping them away." Robert would force energy into his voice. "Dad, I'm working on it. I'm trying." But the truth was, he wasn't, because he was too tired, too stuck, too convinced that his schedule made success impossible. Every morning at 7 a.m., when his shift ended, Robert would sit in his car in the parking lot for 10 minutes before driving home. He'd watch the sunrise, something most people took for granted, and feel a deep, aching emptiness. "This is my life," he'd whisper to himself. "Working in the dark, sleeping through daylight, watching everyone else live while I survive." He didn't realize that his biggest advantage was hidden in those exact hours everyone pitied him for. Life continued this way, hopeless, exhausting, stuck, until one conversation changed everything. 2 weeks before Robert's 30th birthday, his father had a heart attack. Robert got the call at 3 a.m., right in the middle of his shift. He raced to the hospital, still wearing his warehouse uniform, smelling of cardboard and diesel fuel. When he arrived, his father was stable, but weak. The doctor said it was a warning: stress, years of physical labor, poor lifestyle habits catching up. Robert sat beside his father's hospital bed as dawn broke through the window. His father looked small, fragile, nothing like the strong man who had raised him. "Robert," his father whispered, his voice thin. "I'm 61 years old. I worked 40 years in factories and warehouses. And you know what I have to show for it? A small pension and a bad heart." He gripped Robert's hand weakly. "Don't do what I did. Don't just work. Build something. You're smart. You have ideas. But ideas don't matter if you never act on them. I see you wasting the same hours I wasted, and it kills me. Please, son, don't wait until you're in a hospital bed to realize you ran out of time." That night, Robert went to work as usual, but something inside him had cracked. At 3 a.m. during his break, he sat in the warehouse break room, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the coffee machine gurgling. And he did something he hadn't done in years. He cried. Not quiet tears. Deep, choking sobs that came from a place of rage and desperation. And he was almost 30 years old. He had nothing to show for 10 years of work. No business, no savings, no relationship, no future. Just an endless cycle of midnight shifts and wasted days. He pulled out his phone and opened a note he'd written 2 years ago. Business plan, Chen Logistics Consulting. He'd never added a single word beyond the title. He stared at it for a long time. Then he whispered to himself, "No more. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care what schedule I work. If I don't start building now, I never will. And in 10 years, I'll be my father, full of regrets and warnings for someone else." The next afternoon, Robert did something unusual. Instead of sleeping until 3 p.m. like always, he forced himself awake at 11 a.m. He was exhausted, disoriented, his body screaming for more sleep. But he had a plan. He drove to a business networking event he'd seen advertised at a local co-working space. It started at noon, a time he'd never been awake for on a weekday in years. He walked into the bright, modern space feeling like an alien. Everyone was energized, caffeinated, talking about their businesses and projects. Robert, in his worn jeans and tired eyes, felt completely out of place. But then he saw the speaker's name on the banner. Building a Business Around Your Life. David Park, founder of Park Logistics Solutions. Robert recognized the company name. Park Logistics was a $10 million logistics consulting firm. He'd heard of them in industry circles. But what caught his attention was a detail in the speaker bio. David Park started his business while working the midnight shift at a distribution warehouse, building his consulting practice during the hours most people waste. Robert's heart stopped. Someone had done it. Someone with his exact schedule, his exact constraints. He sat down in the front row, leaning forward, desperate to hear every word. David Park stepped onto the small stage. A man in his early 50s, confident, successful, but with the humble bearing of someone who'd fought hard for everything he had. "How many of you," he began, "have ever said, 'I don't have time to build my dream'?" Almost every hand went up, including Robert's. David smiled. "I used to say that too. For 5 years, I worked 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. at a warehouse, just like some of you. I told myself I couldn't start a business because my schedule was impossible. He clicked to a slide showing a 24-hour clock. Then one day, someone asked me a question that changed my life. What do you do from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.? I said, nothing. I'm awake, but I'm just killing time before I go to work. They said, that's 3 hours, every single day. 3 hours that most people are stuck in meetings, in traffic, doing things they don't want to do. But you're free. David drew a circle on the whiteboard representing a clock. Here's what I learned. Night shift workers don't have less time. We have different time. And different time is actually an advantage. He pointed to the clock. While you sleep from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., 6 hours, that's fine. You have 3 golden hours from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The world is awake. Businesses are open. You can make calls. You can meet clients. You can work on your projects. Then from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., you handle life, dinner, errands, gym, whatever. Then 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., you prepare for work. He circled the 2 to 5 p.m. block in red. These 3 hours, this is where you build your empire, not when you're off work, not on weekends. Every single weekday, 2 to 5 p.m., while everyone else is trapped in their 9 to 5, you are free to build. Robert sat there, stunned. He'd been wasting those hours, scrolling on his phone, watching TV, feeling sorry for himself. After the presentation, Robert approached David. Mr. Park, I work the exact same shift you did, midnight to 7 a.m. I've been telling myself I can't start a consulting business because of my schedule, but you just showed me I've been lying to myself. David looked at Robert with recognition, the look of someone seeing his younger self. What's your name? Robert Chen. Robert, let me ask you this. What have you been doing from 2 to 5 p.m. for the last year? Robert's face flushed with shame. Sleeping, or wasting time. That's 1,095 hours in a year, Robert. If you'd used just those 3 hours every weekday to build a business, you'd have invested over 750 hours of focused work. That's enough to launch a consulting practice, build a client base, and replace your warehouse income. He handed Robert a business card. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you a challenge. For the next 6 months, protect those 3 hours like your life depends on it. Because it does. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. every weekday. No excuses. Build your consulting business. Come back to me in 6 months. Show me what you built. If you've actually done the work, I'll introduce you to 3 of my clients who need what you offer, but only if you show up. Only if you stop blaming your schedule and start using it. David pulled out a notebook and sketched quickly. Here's your system. Non-negotiable. 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Wake up routine. Coffee, shower, get mentally sharp. 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Client work. This is sacred. No social media, no distractions. You're building your consulting framework, reaching out to potential clients, creating your service offerings. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Learning. Online courses, industry research, skill development. You need to be the expert. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Life maintenance. Gym, groceries, relationships, rest. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Prepare for shift, mental prep, light admin work. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Work your shift. But now it's temporary, not permanent. Robert stared at the notebook page, his hands shaking slightly. This is This is so simple. Why didn't I see this before? Because you were looking at your schedule as a prison instead of a design. Night shift workers have something day workers don't: access to business hours while being paid to work nights. You can build during the day and earn at night. That's powerful. David held up 3 fingers. 3 rules. Rule 1. Sleep is non-negotiable. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. 6 hours minimum. If you don't sleep, you'll burn out and quit. Protect your sleep as much as you protect your 2 to 5 p.m. block. Rule 2. The first month will feel impossible. You'll be exhausted. You'll want to quit. Don't. After 30 days, your body adapts. After 90 days, it becomes normal. Rule 3. Track every hour. Every single day. Write down what you did from 2 to 5 p.m. If you don't track it, you won't do it. Accountability to yourself is everything. David extended his hand. 6 months, Robert. Show me you're serious. Robert shook his hand firmly, feeling something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. The next day, Robert set an alarm for 1:45 p.m. When it went off, his entire body rebelled. He'd only slept 5.5 hours. Every muscle ached. His mind was foggy, but he remembered his father in the hospital bed. He remembered David Park's challenge. He got up. The first month was brutal. Every afternoon, Robert dragged himself to his desk, a small folding table in his apartment, and forced himself to work. 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. became sacred. He created a simple consulting service offering, supply chain optimization for small warehouses. He built a basic website using a template. He reached out to 5 small business owners he knew from his warehouse network. At 4 p.m., he took online courses on business consulting, pricing strategies, and client management. It was exhausting. Some days, he'd fall asleep at his desk at 4:30 p.m., waking up at 5 p.m., feeling like a failure. But he kept going. Because the alternative, another year of midnight, shifts with nothing to show, was worse than the exhaustion. In week 6, something shifted. His body had adapted to the new sleep schedule. Waking up at 2 p.m. felt normal. His 2 to 5 p.m. block became automatic. And then, on day 47, he got his first client, a small manufacturing company owner, someone he'd met at the warehouse, needed help optimizing their receiving process. Robert quoted $1,500 for a 2-week consulting project. The owner said, yes. Robert sat at his desk, staring at the signed contract, and cried again, but this time with joy. He'd made $1,500 in 2 weeks working 3 hours a day. His warehouse job paid $800 a week working 40 hours. The math was starting to make sense. By month 3, Robert had completed his first project successfully. The client was thrilled. He'd saved them $8,000 a year in wasted receiving time. Word spread. A second client came, then a third. Robert now worked from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. with laser focus. No phone, no distractions, just work. At 5 p.m., he'd go to the gym, something he hadn't done in 2 years. His energy was coming back. His body was transforming. By month 4, he was earning $3,000 to $4,000 a month from consulting, working 15 hours a week during his afternoon blocks. His warehouse job still paid $3,200 a month for 40 hours a week. The numbers were getting close. In month 5, Robert landed 2 larger clients, companies willing to pay $5,000 for month-long optimization projects. His consulting income hit $8,000 that month. He was now making more in 3 hours a day than in 40 hours at the warehouse. But there was another change, a deeper one. He had energy. He had purpose. He had pride. His father, recovered from his heart attack, visited Robert's apartment one Sunday. He saw the desk set up, the client folders, the calendar tracking system. "Son," he said quietly, "you're doing it. You're actually doing it." On the last day of month 6, exactly 6 months after meeting David Park, Robert walked into his warehouse supervisor's office at 11 p.m., right before his shift. "I'm giving my 2 weeks' notice." His supervisor looked shocked. "Why? Did you find another warehouse job?" "No," Robert said, feeling a surge of pride. "I started my own business. I don't need the midnight shift anymore." The next week, Robert met David Park at a coffee shop at 3 p.m., right in the middle of Robert's golden hours. Robert showed him everything. 6 clients, $47,000 in total revenue over 6 months, $8,000 monthly income now, a pipeline of 5 more potential clients, and David smiled, the smile of a mentor seeing his student succeed. "You did it, Robert. You stopped blaming your schedule and started using it. Now I'll keep my promise." He pulled out his phone and forwarded 3 client contacts. "These are companies that need what you offer. Tell them I sent you." That's worth about $30,000 in projects. Robert's voice caught. "Why are you doing this for me?" "Because 10 years ago, someone did it for me. And because you proved you're serious. Most people talk. You worked." 1 year after that first networking event, Robert was running Chen Logistics Consulting full-time, 15 clients, $12,000 per month in revenue, complete control of his schedule. He'd moved to a new apartment with big windows, because now he could enjoy daylight. He'd started dating again. His relationship with his father had never been stronger. But the biggest change? Every day at 2 p.m., when his alarm went off, he didn't dread waking up. He jumped out of bed, excited. Because those 3 hours, the hours everyone said were impossible, had become the foundation of everything he'd built. My friend, Robert's story is not just about night shifts or logistics consulting. It's about something far more powerful. Your schedule is not your prison. It's your opportunity. Here's what most people don't understand. You don't need more time. You need to use the time you already have differently. Robert was wasting 3 hours every single day, 1,095 hours a year, because he believed his schedule made success impossible. The moment he stopped complaining and started claiming those hours, everything changed. Whether you work nights, early mornings, weekends, or split shifts, you have hours that others don't. Hours when the world is available, but you're not trapped in someone else's schedule. Those hours are your competitive advantage. Night shift workers can build businesses during the day while day workers are stuck in meetings. Early morning workers can claim evening hours when others are exhausted. Weekend workers have weekdays free when service providers, banks, and offices are open. Your weird schedule isn't a disadvantage. It's a design for freedom, if you choose to see it that way. So here's your challenge, the same challenge David gave Robert. Step 1. Identify your 3 golden hours. Not when you're working. Not when you're sleeping. The 3 hours every weekday when you're awake, the world is awake, and you're not obligated to someone else's time. For night workers, usually 2 to 5 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. For early workers, usually 6 to 9 p.m. For weekend workers, usually weekday mornings. Step 2. Protect those 3 hours like they're worth $1 million, because over time, they are. No social media, no TV, no, I'm too tired. Use them to build a skill, a side business, a certification, a portfolio, something that compounds. Step 3. Track every single day. Write down what you did in those 3 hours. If you don't track it, you'll waste it. Accountability to yourself is everything. I promise you this. If you claim your 3 golden hours every weekday for 6 months, just 6 months, and use them intentionally, your life will not be the same. You might not be a millionaire, and you might not quit your job immediately, but you will become someone different. Someone who builds instead of complains. Someone who uses time instead of blaming time. And that person can achieve anything. Robert had every excuse. Exhausting midnight shift, no energy, no support, father in the hospital, girlfriend left him, turning 30 with nothing to show. But he stopped making excuses and started making progress. 3 hours a day, every day, for 6 months. That's all it took to transform his entire life. You have those same 3 hours. You've had them all along. The only question is, will you keep wasting them? Or will you start claiming them? Your schedule is not the problem. Your mindset about your schedule is the problem. Change your mindset. Claim your hours. Build your future. If this story gave you a new way to see your own schedule, share it with someone working odd hours who thinks success is impossible for them. Because sometimes, all we need is to see that someone else with our exact constraints figured it out. Remember Robert's words. The hours everyone said were impossible became the foundation of everything I built. Your impossible hours are waiting. Claim them